We're excited to welcome another NFL prospect whose life may change exactly 1 month from Wednesday. The draft begins April 28th, and this guy hopes that his name is called.
2nd and 9 from the 46. Fromm in the gun. He's got it. Handoff, Michelle running left, stretched out. Ben in the backfield, steps out of one tackle, chopped under. He fumbled it. Picks it. Stephen Parker on the run. 30, makes a cut. 25, 20. They're not going to get it. It's a touchdown. Oh, mama!
Such a great call from Toby Rowland from the Rose Bowl, Oklahoma versus Georgia, one of the national semifinals in the college football playoff. And we're pleased to welcome 4-year OU defensive back Stephen Parker to the show. And Stephen, we're a month away from the draft. You've had your pro day. You've been doing all kinds of preparation. How are you feeling as the draft draws closer?
As the draft gets closer, I'm just cherishing each and every day that I have to basically be training with the best trainers that I can possibly have. Doing 2 weeks down here in Tulsa, 2 weeks in Norman, and then probably going back down to Dallas to work out with my DB guru, Clay Mack. Shout out to him. But, as the draft gets closer, I'm just basically, taking everything I can control and making the best out of it. All I need is opportunity, and that's basically just all I really got to say about, how pro day and everything like that went, and how I'm looking towards the draft.
We'll talk about the pro day in a second, but what's more nerve-wracking, playing in a college football playoff game or a Big 12 championship, getting ready for that, or thinking about what happens on draft day?
Honestly, this is the one that's probably up there. Thinking of what's going to happen on draft day is probably something that I've been anticipating for a very long time. I know a lot of people are, everyone that's going through the process right now. But it's very exciting. There's a lot of ups and downs through it. But, of course, you always want to have more ups and downs. And it's going great. I'm really loving the process.
All right, so let's talk about your pro day. You get a chance to be in your own space and on your own field with your own guys. How do you feel like it went? Can you evaluate yourself for me?
Definitely. I honestly, just to start off, with the height, measurement, and weight, it was basically exactly where I wanted to be. Kind of in that 205 range. I ended up weighing around 203. I jumped basically everything, or jumping-wise, I did everything I was supposed to do, as my goals were set. Get over 10.5, jump to 10.6, and to get around, 35, 36 in that area on the vertical. So, that just to start off, that was the thing that really kicked it off. And then, the 40, some scouts got me at a 4.45, and some got me at a early 4.5.
Wow.
So that was exactly what I needed, just to have a little jump start. But just going out there and competing. Just with against myself. That's how I like to say it. It was everything that I imagined, especially going out there one last time with my brothers, as we were all getting ready to go through the same process of trying to get drafted.
You didn't get invited to the combine, so how did that maybe change your perspective or motivate you going into your pro day?
I really worked out with a chip on my shoulder. Each and every day I just thought about it. I could have kept on, thinking about it and let it stress me out, but I didn't let it stress me out at all. I honestly just thought of it as an extra week to get better, work on the techniques that I needed to succeed, and basically work on anything that I needed extra, especially recovery. That was what it was big for, getting the chance to recover that much and get ready for my pro day. So with all those things being said, it really gave me time to basically become better in that last, week or so, especially with the recovery.
Former Oklahoma defensive back and all Big 12 second team Stephen Parker with us here after hours on CBS Sports Radio. What will you miss most about playing football for OU?
I'm gonna miss my brothers the most. I met a lot of great guys up there, a lot of great people, and that's something that I'm gonna cherish for the rest of my life. I'm always gonna get the chance to come back and work out there and get the chance to say hello to my coaches that are there each and every year, and just anytime I get the chance, I want to come back and, just see some of the guys that are still there, even the young guys that I got to play with. So that's something that I always think about, just how much of a relationship that I had just with the people that were there in that program.
Your senior year, the school went through a coaching change. I don't know how much of it a surprise it was inside your program, but for everybody else who follows college football, to see OU without Bob Stoops on the sidelines is still a bit of a shock to think about it. What was that transition like to Coach Riley?
The transition was smooth, actually. Excuse me. We already knew that we had great leadership going into it. With the coaching change, it was a time where, it was some sadness, but it was the same goal. It was the same everything, as far as what we were doing. Nothing had changed, it was just the fact that, our coach, decided to retire and step down, and we had one coach rise up. So with the leadership and everything that we had, it was fantastic. The transition was smooth, and there was no drop off whatsoever.
And such an incredible season, culminating with an opportunity in the Rose Bowl. And I know it didn't end the way that you wanted, but what will you remember about that experience, New Year's Day, the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, a game that goes into double overtime?
I honestly tell everybody about this. I always say, although we lost that game, that's probably one of the best memories I'll have at the University of Oklahoma. Just that game. It was such a crazy game, but it was one of those where it kept you on the end of your seat. And although I was in the game, it was kind of like I could just feel that game, going a certain way. And of course, it didn't end the way like we wanted to, but that's a game where I can say I smiled countless number of times, and I had so much fun playing one last time with my teammates. That's a game I'll cherish forever. Even though we lost that game, I can just remember just walking to the other end zone, praying, getting down on one knee praying, and, just hugging Jordan Parker actually at the end, walking back in. Actually knew one of the Georgia guys on the other side, a guy that actually came in and had a recruiting visit up at OU. Actually traded gloves, everything like that. So it was just countless number of memories I can remember just throughout that game. It was a sad inning, but it was definitely a great opportunity and such a fun game that I can always remember.
Coming out of Norman in Oklahoma, Stephen Parker was recognized in the Big 12 as All Big 12 second team, 3-year starter for the Sooners, and is now looking ahead to the NFL draft. It's After Hours with Amy Lawrence here on CBS Sports Radio. I just have to ask you the Baker Mayfield question because you're, again, on the opposite side of the ball. Let's just say you're lining up against him, whether it's college, whether it's NFL. What is the first thing you have to do to try to slow that guy down?
Make sure you disguise your covers because that guy right there, as soon as he sees exactly what you're in, he'll pick you apart.
Okay, but there's got to be something that you figured out after all those years of playing ones against him.
I would say one of the things that I've always seen is he'll always look towards the sideline, but it'll always be his call at the end of the day. And it's so tough because, even if we audible, it seems like he always has another trick up his sleeve. Like, although you might know the play, he has something stored deep up in his mind that he's thinking about. And as soon as you just make a false movement, it's just like, bam, he got you.
Oh, my goodness. It's going to be awesome to see how this draft plays out, not just for Baker, but for everyone who comes out of OU. Let me ask you this question, Stephen. You played in every single game your college career and started every single game your last 3 seasons. That's nearly unheard of, considering how violent football is and how much injuries can pile up. What do you feel like was the key to staying healthy your entire college campaign?
Really staying on top of my recovery. That's something that I really cherish and I take advantage of, especially with the facilities that we have at the University of Oklahoma. Getting in that cold tub, it was vital. Getting in, and do some PT as far as getting my hamstrings worked on or doing a little bit of stem treatment, on your muscles. Just all those kind of things, especially the boots, the Norman Tech boots. We also had those as well. So that was exactly what I paid attention to, and making sure that I always stayed on top of that. That's honestly what's kept me up without injuries at all. Just these past 3 or 4 years.
So now looking ahead to the next phase in your career, the NFL, I know you've met with a couple of teams. What have those interviews been like?
So I've had 2 interviews. One was Miami and one was the LA Rams, and they both went well. It was kind of one of those things where they just wanted to basically get some background information, and they asked me a couple of questions as far as how do I cope with football? What are some of the hobbies that I like to get into? Outside of football. So just things like that. It was really good.
What do you believe that you have to offer NFL teams that will be your greatest strengths?
My greatest strength is basically being versatile. I can play cornerback, I can play safety, I can play defensive, safety, defensive back, nickelback, or dime.
Mm-hmm.
I can play anywhere in the secondary, and that's what makes me so special, because I can go and actually even play a box safety if you need me to, or even run the middle of the field. So that I feel like that's what makes me so special.
So as you've talked to teams or had a chance to work out, what do you feel like is the best fit? Even though you can move around, have you heard from teams about where they think they might use you?
No, not yet. I know teams. That's one of the things that they like is that I am versatile. I've played multiple positions, especially at Oklahoma. But I really haven't heard anything as far as what they really want me to play yet. But I want to, just let the world be known that I want to basically be a defensive back, not just a safety.
Mm. So, again, from my time in Oklahoma, I recognize the rivalry between Oklahoma State and OU, and I just happened to see that your dad played at OSU, so he was a Cowboy?
Yes, he was.
So how did he feel when you decided to go to Norman and go to OU?
Honestly, he was very supportive of me. You would have thought that it would have, kind of had some bad blood or anything like that, but it honestly wasn't bad at all. He said, I want you to, basically pick whatever college you think is best gonna, play a part in your life, and I went with it, and I felt like University of Oklahoma was the best fit for me.
Mm. What does it mean to you that your grandfather played at OU?
It means a lot, it really does. I actually heard that story, I want to say it was my senior year of high school, and that's kind of when my dad, he had talked about it a little bit, probably when I was younger, I would say, and it was so long ago to where I couldn't remember, and then he, gravitated towards it again a little bit, and finally got a little ad in a magazine to basically show his support for his dad, and aka my papa and my grandpa, and that was something that it made me smile. It made me actually think about why I play football. Why are the reasons and some of the great things and great people that have made sacrifices or that have been in that situation before I have. How it's just such a blessing.
So how much does it mean to you that you can share this experience now with your family, considering that there's such a football tradition?
Oh, it's going to be a great experience, just to say, I got to play at OU. My dad played at Oklahoma State, and my grandpa was at OU to basically help with the division of whites and blacks. So I feel like that was something that was very key to me.
Mm. Well, I'm excited for you. It's going to be awesome to see how this plays out. I know there's got to be some nerves, but you're getting so close. You're just a month away. Stephen, thank you so much. Congratulations on a great career at OU, and we'll look forward to seeing where you land in the draft.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.